What is an invasive species? Many people are not aware of their existence, much less how they arrived in new environment and how their arrival affects not only the environment they invade, but potentially the health of surrounding humans. First, I will describe what an invasive species is and the causes and arrivals of invasive species. Second, I will discuss how their arrival affects the environment. Lastly, I will discuss how their arrival can harm human health. From plants to tiny insects, amphibians to large mammals. The title of invasive species are not attached to any specific organisms. According to the United States Department of Agriculture, an invasive species can be defined as species that is non-native to the ecosystem. It has newly inhabited or whose introduction causes or could cause harm to human health or surrounding environments. To give an example, EarthRangers.com has listed 10 of the most invasive species around the world. This includes zebra mussels, kudzu, cane toads, European starlings, Asian carp, and the Asian longhorn beetle. As you can see, this lists species from all over the plant and animal kingdom. These organisms are introduced to new environments by multiple reasons. Humans are the #1 cause for invasive species, whether brought on accident or on purpose. As humans travel from country to country or even state to state, there is a possibility of potential invasive organisms to tag along. Insects are often carried on shipping crates from foreign countries, and other animals can be brought illegally by travelers. Another way they spread is through climate change. In Native Wildlife Federation articles on invasive species, they stated that that changes in rain, snow, and temperature patterns allow some organisms to move into new areas. For example, insects use droughts to their advantage by infesting plants while they are a weakened state. Now that you understand what an invasive species is, let's discuss how the arrival of one can deteriorate an environment's health. An organism arriving to a new ecosystem has the potential to disrupt the existing species, health, the food chain, or preventing reproduction of native species. Environmentalscience.org says most significant of consequences of invasive species is loss of habitat. The article gives 2 examples of disruptive organisms. The hemlock woolly adlid and infamous kudzu. The hemlock woolly, an insect from Asia, has killed 80% of hemlock trees in the eastern United States. Not only are these invasive insects killing the forest, but also the habitats of the animals living there. As these organisms arrive in their new environment, they are not surrounded by their usual predators, which allows them to reproduce rapidly. If the environment becomes overpopulated with the organism, it has the potential to become a new predator in the area. NWF explains that the overpopulation of an invasive organism threatens native species indirectly by outcompeting others for food or resources, or carrying harmful diseases. Not only can these organisms have negative effects on our environment, but some of these issues can carry over to humans and potentially cause harm to our health. The introduction of non-native species causes multiple problems of environment populated with humans directly and indirectly. European Environment Agency writes that one of the most problematic effects on the alien species for human is the ability for them to carry diseases. The EEA gives the example of Asian tiger mosquito, which has been connected to more than 20 diseases around the world, such as yellow fever and chikungunya fever. Although human health is a top priority, another way these invasive organisms impact us is through our economy. As they make their way disruptively through our ecosystem, they can ruin crops, water reservoirs, and many other important resources. It is estimated that we spend about $1.4 trillion annually on controlling or minimizing the effect of invasive species and restoring the damage they left behind. In conclusion, I would like to remind you that my purpose for speaking with you today is to inform the audience of the cause and effect relationship of invasive species. While speaking with you, I explained what and where invasive organisms come from and how their introduction to new ecosystems not only harm an environment but also surrounding humans' health. Although it seems that invasive species are nearly impossible to maintain, there are many ways that you can help prevent the spread and protect our environment and our health. And that is my story on invasive species.